Good evening, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. So I continue my part series, The Week That Was College Football History Review, the 1973 college football season. This is week 11. The games that were played on November 22nd to November 24th, 1973. Let's get into it. There were two games on Thanksgiving that stood out. We're going to start with number 2 Alabama versus number 7 Louisiana State, where Alabama won this battle of two top 10 teams, 21-7. Big plays were a deciding factor in clash of top 10 teams as Crimson Tide parlay quarterback Gary Rutledge's 19-yard touchdown sprint, 49-yard touchdown pass play to tight end George Pugh, and 77 yards touchdown pass to wide receiver Wayne Wheeler into a 21-0 lead. Now, Alabama defense bent but did not break in allowing 212 yards rushing and 21 first downs, but only Bengals tailback Brad Davis 40-yard touchdown run. LSU could not keep the 15-game winning streak alive because it turned the ball over 5 times, but became only team to outrush the Crimson Tide of Alabama during the regular season. Davis led way with 143 yards on the ground. Win was 500th win in Alabama history and wrapped up his 3rd straight SEC title. On the same Thanksgiving Day, Texas, the number 11 team in the country, beat Texas A&M by a score of 42-13. The Longhorns easily won their 6th straight Southwest Conference title, although star fullback Roosevelt Leaks badly sprained his knee in the 3rd quarter. Game was no longer in doubt, as Big Texas' lead had been built on 373 yards rushing without passing attack. Now Steelers quarterback Marty Atkins rushed for 3 touchdowns, and freshman halfback Raymond Claiborne chipped in with 2 touchdowns. Texas A&M quarterback David Walker threw for 164 yards in defeat. Now, Friday, November 23rd, 1973, Oklahoma, the number 3 team in the country, shut out number 10, Nebraska, 27-0. Years later, Nebraska coach Tom Osborne might still have nightmares about Selman family because the brothers formed a 3-man interior line that harassed Chrome Huskers all day, helping prevent visitors from crossing the 50-yard line. But once Nebraska lost fumble on that penetration, the Sooners forced 5 turnovers and held the Huskers to 10 first downs and measly 74-yard rushing. Quarterback Steve Davis rushed for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the Sooners, racing 47 yards on game's most explosive score when he burst through short yardage defense to find no defender between him and Nebraska end zone. When prairie dust had settled, the bowl-ineligible Oklahoma had registered combined 82-13 score over projected New Year's Day Cotton Bowl participants like Nebraska and Texas. Penn State, the number 6 team in the country, beat Pittsburgh by a score of. Pittsburgh was number 20 in the country, so number 6 Penn State beat number 20 Pittsburgh 35-13. Nittany Lions retained dominance of rivalry for another year as tailback John Cappelletti won the rushing duel with Pitt's tailback Tony Dorsett. Cappelletti's outrushed future fellow Heisman winner 161 yards to 177 yards as Nittany Lions recovered from a 13-3 deficit by posting 32 unanswered points in the second half. Now kicker Carson Long's 2 field goals and Tony Dorsett's 14-yard touchdown run in the first half had the young Pittsburgh Panthers thinking about upset, but Penn State defense shut down the option attack, punishing Dorsett and sacking quarterback Billy Daniels 3 times and holding Panthers to 7 yards rushing and 41 yards passing after halftime. Penn State linebacker Tom Hall added 27-yard interception to touchdown return. Next, Michigan, the number 4 team in the country, played number 1 Ohio State, where this matchup ended in a 10-10 tie. Ohio State built a 10-0 lead in a titanic struggle as tailback Archie Griffin ran for 99 of his 163 yards in the first half before leg injury hampered him. Freshman fullback Pete Johnson bowled in from 5 yards out. Kicker Blair Conway added a 31-yard field goal. Meanwhile, Michigan tied it up in the 4th quarter on kicker Mike Lantry's 30-yard field goal and gusty 4th down keeper from 10-yard out from quarterback Dennis Franklin, who set up his touchdown with 27-yard completion to tight end Paul Seal. But after rallying from a 10-point deficit, Wolverines were hit by disaster when Franklin broke collarbone of right throwing arm and Lantry missed a 2 potential game-winning field goals. It got worse for Michigan as Big Ten athletic directors broke conference first place tie and voted Rose Bowl nod to healthier Buckeyes when they felt would have a better chance of snapping Big Ten's 4-game losing streak. Michigan felt it deserved to go based on better performance in this deadlock and that Ohio State had gone to Pasadena last year, but it was not as if Buckeyes much used their quarterbacks. Ohio State chose to run on 49 straight plays until Buckeye backup quarterback Greg Hare threw potentially disastrous interception that set up Landry's last field goal try from 44 yards with 28 seconds left. Minnesota beat Missouri, the number 19 team in the country, 14-13. Surprising Jayhawks continued their winning ways as quarterback David James continued to plague Missouri by hitting wide receiver Emmett Edwards for winning score. Confident Tigers had built a 10-13 third quarter lead as quarterback Ray Smith ran for 45 yards for a touchdown. Defensive back John Mosley returned a 53-yard punt return for a touchdown. James then threw 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter to pull out victory. Kansas earned second-place tie with Nebraska in conference, while Missouri stumbled into its third straight loss. Now, remarkable, Jayhawks set new NCAA cliffhanger record by playing their 6th game of the season decided by 2 points or less. Kansas had defeated Iowa State, Colorado, and Missouri, while losing to Tennessee and Nebraska by a single point and tying Oklahoma State. Next, Battle of Arizona took place as Arizona State, the number 13 team in the country, defeated Arizona by a score of 55-19. Now, a highly anticipated desert matchup turned out to be disappointing because Arizona State coach Frank Kush unleashed the conjuring of future NFL players on Wildcats. As halfback Woody Green had 192 yards and 25 carries. Fullback Ben Malone had 147 yards rushing on 26 carries. Quarterback Danny White threw for 333 yards passing, 36 passing, 4 touchdowns. Wingback Morris Owens had 128 yards receiving, 7 catches and 3 touchdowns. The linebacker Bob Bruning, 13 tackles, blocked the punt, and an interception, all excelled. Arizona remained in the contention at halftime, trailing only 28-19, thanks to fullback Jim Upchurch's 2 touchdown runs. Sun Devils dominated the second half, though, with the final touchdown scored by wide receiver Greg Hudson when he recovered end zone fumble that was coughed up by Arizona wide receiver Theo T. Bell. Bobbled when Bell tried to field 50-yard punt by White. Green finished his Devils' career with school rushing record of 4,188 yards. That total broke mark set by Wizard White, 3,174 yards, the father of quarterback Danny White. Next, Southern California, the number 9 team in the country, beat number 8 UCLA, about 2 top 10 teams, 23-13. UCLA's vaunted rushing attack, which was leading nation with 414.4 yards average, crashed into the Trojans' new 3-4 defense and was found lacking. Bruins of UCLA scratched to earn only 249 yards as option assault and committed 4 crucial fumbles and tossed up 2 interceptions. Tailback Anthony Davis led Rose Bowl bound Trojans with 145 yards rushing and scored touchdowns at USC, copped its 6th trip to Pasadena in 8 years. The game's big play probably could be traced to Troy linebacker James Sims, hit on Bruins quarterback John Sierra with Trojans up 20-13 in third quarter. It forced a fumble that was recovered by USC linebacker Dale Mitchell. So that concludes a look at the moments and events, the games that were played during Week 11. College Football Season Review, 1973 college football season, Week 11, November 22nd to November 24th, 1973. Let's get into the AP poll. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I missed out one more game I got to talk about, and that was Stanford and California. Stanford and California. Forgot about that, apologize. Stanford beat California by a score of 26-17. Cardinals took control of the big game thanks to 6 Carolina turnovers and other mistakes that set up every score except final touchdown, with efficient quarterback Mike Boryla out by halftime with shoulder injury. Stanford needed all help they can muster, winning touchdown freshman running back Ron Inges' 3-yard run began at the 29-yard punt by Bears quarterback punter Steve Barkowski, who was subbing for injured punter Scott overtime. Stanford then went 81 yards with ball on next drive to clinch game on 10-yard scoring run by fullback Scott Laidlaw, who had 132 yards on 23 carries. Finally, tailback Chuck Muncie led the Bears with 129 yards and touchdown rushing. Now I'm finished with the week that was college football history review. The 1973 college football season. The games that were played on November 22nd to November 24th, 1973. Let's look at the AP poll. It's on November 26th. Number 20 was Missouri, 19 Tennessee, 18 was Maryland, 17 Kansas, 16 North Carolina State, 15 Miami of Ohio, 14 Houston, 13 Nebraska, 12 Texas Tech, 11 Arizona State. The top 10 round out as this: UCLA at number 10, Texas at number 9, number 8 Louisiana State, 7 Southern California, 6 Penn State, number 5 Notre Dame, 4 Michigan, 3 Ohio State, 2 Oklahoma, and number 1 Alabama. So that includes a look at the moments and events that took place, the games that took place in college football during the 1973 season. 1973 college football history review, week 11. The games that were played on November 22nd to November 24th. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Do a video of magnitude. December 1st, 1973. That will be week 12. That will be the conclusion of the regular season of 1973. Tomorrow, I'll conclude that with the games that were played on December 1st, 1973, week 12. As well as go over the conference standings, the AP poll. But then Saturday, I'll go over the bowl games that were played for the 1973 season. And I'll go over everything else as far as the stats and All-American team, Heisman, whoever won the awards during that season. So we're gonna get into it and continue on with this look at 73 season. Almost finished. So I got one more regular season week to go over, and then go over this, the conference standings and the AP poll, and then get into the bowl games, and then other things other than that, with the stats, statistics, and the All-American team who won the Heisman, and then the other major awards during the 1973 season. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Do a video of this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.